Well, hi, it's nice to meet you, Gabby. I'm Karson.
Hi, nice to meet you as well.
Have you had a chance to spend any time in Boston?
I think so. I
Yeah,
think I have.
yeah,
I get a little mushy in the brain because I feel like I've been to almost every single state.
right. I'm
But
sure. I'm
yes,
sure.
I think I have.
Hmm. Well, hopefully you'll get to get back out on the road soon, maybe, possibly for 2021. Is that something that you've started to have a conversation
Yeah, for
with the
sure.
people about?
Yeah. This year's seems to be pretty quiet with performing, just people being wise and taking precautions with things.
Right.
But 2021 is something that I think everybody's planning for. So yes, for sure, some potential really fun tours and things.
Yeah, I imagine that's going to
Hopefully.
be a pretty wild year next year for concerts because everybody's going to be
Yeah.
trying to book venues. And how do you, if you're the venue or the Live Nations of the world or whatever, you're going to
Sure.
get, yeah, you're going to get the pick of the litter, right?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be crazy. I think people are itching to get out of their house and go to concerts again and see live music.
Mm,
So I think it should
right.
be interesting.
Okay, so I want to talk about first the song I Hope. So I have the lyrics in front of me. And first
Okay.
of all, this song, I just read that for the first time in 14 years, female artists account for over 20% of the #1 songs this year. So you, Maren Morris, and Miranda Lambert, all with #1 songs this year. But specifically the lyrics, I hope she's wilder than your wildest dreams. She's everything you're ever going to need. And then I hope she cheats. What was it like the first time you belted out that song, like in front of your family, in front of your dad, his little girl?
Well, I grew up listening to a lot of Miranda Lambert and Carrie Underwood, and there was some Gretchen Wilson like kind of vibes in there, and so he wasn't surprised. Quite honestly, he wasn't surprised. He was more like, "Oh yeah," and so he loved it. Granted, I would deal with that differently now. I have a wonderful husband, but
Mhm.
it was a fun song to write, and I think that's why a lot of people like the song exactly how you just put it. I don't think it's something people are expecting when they're listening to it, so it has a nice left turn to it.
I've enjoyed watching the TV show Songland just for that reason and watching the process of those
Yeah.
three and how they take songs and they surprise you and you think you're getting one thing and then you get a hook like, and then I hope, you know, and you're just like, oh my gosh, that's like an amazing moment. And I think that's why we gravitate towards the song. So
Yeah.
I want to know, you talk about obviously being in a different space now, being married, you and Kade. Congratulations, by the way. A lot of big things
Thanks.
happening in your life. And in watching when Kade revealed on American Idol during Disney Week, and there was that moment, and there's Katy Perry dressed up as Snow White, and it felt to me on the outside looking in that really was a shock to a lot of people on the show. Were you
Hmm.
keeping that relationship a secret?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because we were going on the show not for relationship purposes, but we were going to, hopefully win. And so we were just like, that's what we came here to do. And so we're just gonna hold this off until after the show and whatever. So
Oh, so
yeah.
You knew Cade before Idol.
No, I still met him on the show.
Oh, okay.
It just kind of fell into place quickly. You spend so much time with each other that it's like it's easier to get a companion. And we weren't the only ones dating on our season too. The top two were actually dating as well. So, but yeah, the producers must have told Ryan Seacrest and then outed us, and it was craziness. So
Yeah, you could
yeah.
tell it was a pretty authentic moment. What was
Yes,
do you
for
remember the
sure.
moment with Cade where you were like, "Oh, this is happening." Was it right before going on or right after coming off, or were you just like in some downtime?
Do you mean when we got outed, or
No,
like
I
when I
mean
started?
when you realize, "Oh my gosh, I think I'm dating this guy."
Oh, yeah. It probably was around, well, we started talking around top 24. Seriously, we met around top 44. And again, it's just kind of fell into everything quickly. And we just started talking. And then, yeah, by the end of the show, by nearly the end of the show, I was just like, yeah, I think everybody knows this is a thing. And then, and now we're married. So
And you just announced that you're expecting. Congratulations.
I am. Thank you. We're very
And
excited about that too.
I had a chance to interview Katy Perry, just like we're doing right now, a few weeks ago. And obviously, Katy and Orlando are expecting as well. Have you guys exchanged any
Right.
text messages about how things are going for the two of you, or has she given you
Not
any advice? Or
not yet, no. Um, but I'm excited to see what her little darling looks like. See whose features. I've always been interested in that, seeing like, I don't know if you have kids or not, but
Mhm.
seeing like what part of the baby looks like which parent is just so cool to me. So her and Orlando Bloom, I'm sure will have a beautiful child.
Yeah, I have a 9-year-old son named Barrett, actually, who's
Oh,
running around here somewhere, and
awesome.
no, he's the spitting image of me, except with hair,
There,
and my
there
wife
you go.
loves that. My wife did all of the work and carried him for 9 months, and then he came out and he looks exactly like me. Yeah, his
There you
name
go.
was actually the last name of a family friend of my wife's that they grew up vacationing with. And
Oh,
when we
cool.
found out we were pregnant, she's like, "Oh, we're gonna have a little girl, and we're gonna name her Barrett." And I was like, "Okay, great." And then we found out, down the road, that
This
we
is
were
fun.
having a son. She's like, "We're still gonna name him Barrett."
Yeah, still a
So
good name.
yeah, it's still a great name.
Yeah.
Okay. Arbella Insurance is a sponsor of this. Arbella Insurance, here for New England, here for good. And we always ask a fan question. We put it up on social media. We give fans a chance to chime in and ask whatever they want to ask. And this was a kind of an interesting one, because I think this is something that you went through when you were on the show, from your first audition, when Luke Bryan was like, "Okay, can we," and Katie was like, "Stop. We need to figure out exactly who you are. We need a song that defines who you are." So her name is Emmy Charton. It's from Instagram. She says, "First of all, how does it feel to have your first hit turn into a crossover? And do you consider yourself more country or pop?"
Okay, so I would say it's pretty cool, firstly, to have, my first song push spilling over into another genre. I would definitely say I'm a country girl at heart. I wanted to make sure that I established my music first at country, just because that is the artist that I am. But it wanted to spill over into pop too, which I don't have a problem with at all. And I think it's awesome because it spreads to an even broader audience of people.
Mhm.
And it's doing awesome at pop right now, which I'm very grateful for. So I would say more of a country gal though.
I remember you performed Miley Cyrus. You did The Climb on the show. And
Yes.
man, when you did that, I was like, wow, this is like, I can see like how you can ride that line of being in the pop world, but also being in the country world. Are you a big fan of Miley's?
I liked a lot of her early stuff. Yeah, The Climb was one of my favorite songs that she ever did. I mean, I had been doing that song since I was young. I started performing and touring when I was 11. So that had always been one of the covers that I always went to when I would sing.
Uh-huh.
And so when it came to that kind of round on American Idol, I was like, oh, I have to do this song because I just love it so much. So I love that song.
And I noticed on your Instagram post, when you made the announcement, you shared a Bible verse, just talking about, God's gift and with children. you know ob-
Absolutely.
Obviously God is a very important part of your life, and I thought that was amazing, that in that moment where Luke and Katie were like, "Hey, we want to know who you are," and you're like, "Well, I could do Miranda Lambert," and Lionel, who I also love, one of my all-time favorite people, and then he said the same thing. He's like, "No, who are you?" And you took a step
Mm-hmm.
back and you said, "I'm taking it to church." Like, you shined a light on God right there in that moment, where a lot of people might have not been brave enough to do that. I thought that was pretty special.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, his Eyes on the Sparrow was the song that I
Mhm.
ended up getting through with. you know, because R&B, I started singing in the church. I stayed in a gospel choir for 2 years from 9 to 11. And it really taught me how to sing. That was my root in where I was finding how to sing in different ways. And so, yeah, I've always been very ready to, you know, proclaim the truth to people and always talk about the Lord, because that is such a huge part of who I am as a person, which I was really excited to be able to incorporate even Christian songs on the album that just came out in June. So there's just a lot of exciting things. I mean, the Lord's been very gracious to me my entire life. So it's only right to use this platform that He's given me to give honor to Him. So
I found a verse in Colossians 3:20, and I think this is going to be one that you should keep with you. You're going to need this. I have 3 children. I have twin daughters who are 26, and then I have a 9-year-old son. And just remember this one for a very long time. And you should put this up in your daughter's room. Children, obey your parents in everything, for this pleases the Lord.
Yes, it does.
I'm telling you, you're going to need that one. You're going to need that one.
I will certainly teach that one to my kids. Yes.
All right, quickly, one last question. Did your dad give any advice to Kade about raising a daughter?
Oh, goodness. Probably the best. He hasn't given specific advice yet. Maybe that'll come later, because we still got time. I'm only 4-ish months.
Right.
But nothing crazy specific, but probably just to raise her like he's raised me. I imagine it'll be his advice. But we'll see. Yeah.
Have you downloaded the app? Do you know what like the size of your daughter is?
Oh yeah, yes.
What is she now? Do you know?
A large onion, almost a cucumber. So we're getting to bigger sized. What's an onion? What is an onion considered? A vegetable?
Yes, onion is a vegetable, I believe.
What's a cucumber?
Also, I believe a vegetable.
Okay. So vegetables.
I believe so. Yeah, I don't think it's a fruit. I think it's a vegetable.
Okay, we'll go with that. But
wow,
yeah,
that's amazing. You're having a child. You're having a kid. Can you believe it?
I know, it's exciting. It's very exciting. No, I almost can't believe it, because I remember being in high school and like literally praying about, I would pray for my future spouse and I would pray for my kids in the future. And I'd just be like, I would sit there and just wonder, I'd be like, I wonder what they're going to look like. I wonder who my spouse is going to look like. And now to actually be here is crazy. And I just feel, again, very blessed.
Well, I appreciate you taking a few minutes, and hopefully you'll get to Boston soon and we'll get to see you. We've been playing, I hope, on our radio station here, which is, pretty much a pop station. And probably about every 25 minutes, I think we play your song. So,
quite a lot.
Yes, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It was nice to meet you.
You as well. Thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it very much.
Oh, of course. All right. Bye, Gabby.